Hi folks, Pete here from Ashton's Cars. Today showing you around a Porsche Cayenne. This is a September 2013 model and it's the second generation of Cayenne. The first one came out in, well, it would have been back in 2002. And BMW had sort of invented the sports SUV sort of sector with its X5. Porsche came along and then perfected it with a Cayenne. There was a bit of head scratching, I remember, in the motoring press at the time as to what Porsche was doing building a four-wheel drive, but it certainly paid off for them. And this second generation, it sort of continued the bloodline. It very much is a evolution of that first car in terms of its looks and dynamics. Not a bad thing at all, really, because Porsche had a real sort of grip and a foothold in that sector by this point, and they didn't want to lose it. So this second generation of Cayenne, slightly smoother, slightly less awkward lines, I think, and also the introduction of a 3-litre diesel engine to appeal to the mass market, and that's what we've got here. This is the 245 horsepower Tiptronic S model, not turbo. It is a turbo diesel. It's an 8-speed gearbox, obviously Porsche's Tiptronic system, so you've got steering wheel controls for the gears. And it's a four-wheel drive. It's a proper 4x4. But what a performance package it is as well. It's performance, luxury and four-wheel drive all combined into this full-sized SUV, which I think looks fantastic, especially in this colour. Now, this particular car that I'm showing you around here was bought from Porsche Centre in Guildford by its first owner, and it has been owned privately by one chap from new. So it's done over 100,000 miles. Not that you would know it, because it really is in absolutely perfect condition. And it's got a few tasteful options on it, including the panoramic glass roof, which I'll show you in just a minute. So a pretty car. I'll just let in some traffic go past me here before I get run over. Let's come around the side. Completely and utterly standard, but with a very, very plush interior specification on it, including that panoramic roof. So really, really nice looking car this is. It's the nice thing about it for me actually is it's on the smaller wheels. I say smaller, they're still pretty substantial. Continental rubber on here, and what have we got tyre wise? 255 55 16s. It can't be 16s, can it? 18s. I see so many of these cars on 20s though, and 22-inch wheels, which do fit, but then you lose the ride quality. This one on the 18s has got a really supple ride on it, ideal for our roads here in Wales where we've got potholes galore. So it does make for a much nicer, smoother drive, and I still think they look quite substantial on the car. It still looks good. So coming around to the front of it, beautiful headlights, LEDs here, which we'll show you in a minute on, and then xenon lights up the top here. Much more in keeping with the modern face of Porsche though. Really does look the part, and I think much nicer, smoother looking design than the older shape Cayenne that came before it. This model you're looking at here ran from 2010 right the way up to 2018. They've since replaced it with something that again looks very, very similar, but again, I think that's classic Porsche really. They do tend to evolve their designs more than just completely reinvent the wheel every time they bring a new car out, and I like that about them. Highlights of this particular car have to be this interior. Look at that. Beautiful trim, leather everywhere, lots of nice aluminium finishes, loads of nice textures. You've got a couple of screens. You've got one in front of the driver and then one in the centre there, which I'll show you in just a second. And this beautiful perforated leather, which is as comfortable as it is gorgeous to look at. Full electric adjustment on both front seats. They're heated. Well, it's absolute luxury in here. And of course then you've got an opening panoramic glass sunroof as well. So that just throws the light into this interior. It really is something to behold, and I'll show you it properly in just a minute. Let's just show you very quickly the back of the car. I've got the armrest down at the minute. Look at that roof, fantastic roof. Armrest there with a couple of cup holders as well. You've got ventilation to the rear as well in the middle. Loads of space in here. In terms of size, It's about the same as a Range Rover Sport. It's not quite full-sized Range Rover, not the full fat one, but it is a proper full-sized four-wheel drive. Of course, a lot of things on this car are shared with Volkswagen's Touareg. That's its sister car. Electric boot opening. Look at that. Good size load area. Split folding seats, plus the ski hatch. Of course, being a Porsche, we need to have room for our skis. We've got power sockets in the back of it. We've got a space saver spare wheel down there, and even a pair of gloves. What more could you ask for in a Porsche? So it's as you can see, look at that. It doesn't look like it's ever been used, this back. Unbelievable. Press the button by here, that'll all go down electrically. Twin exhausts at the back there. It's not got any badges on the back to tell you if it's the diesel or the petrol or whatever it is. It does have a discrete diesel badge on the side though. But yeah, it's a pretty, this is kind of the sensible engine in the range, but the performance on it's phenomenal. This is comfortably will do over 130 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in just over 7 seconds. So it's got all the performance you would really want in a vehicle of this type, but still delivers surprisingly good economy. 35 to 40 to the gallon is a possibility on the motorway in this car. You will probably average about 30 miles per gallon around town. So I think that's pretty good for a Porsche, really. It's not a car that you would normally associate with economy, is it? And here is the interior. Again, full electrics here, including the boot opening. I can do that. I can also retract my mirrors and stuff on these buttons here, but what I want to do is just get inside behind the wheel, show you properly what this car is all about. So to do that, let's get the keys. Yep, jump on in. There's no real lip there, no sill to get over, so it's very easy to get in and out of this car is. It's so nice behind the wheel of this, I love it. Very weird looking keys. I thought it was keyless at first. I thought these were just transponders, but they do actually fit into this little slot here. And you can start it up like so. That's the startup sequence. So it's telling me to fasten my seatbelt at the minute, but I'm pretty sure I can press a button by here and get rid of that annoying message. Yep. I can have that screen there on the right. I can have my navigation in that, or you know, radio controls, phone controls, whatever you want. You've also got this big screen here, which at the moment I've got my radio stations on, and separate little screens here for the temperature controls. So it's really incredibly, let's get that to focus, well thought out. There we are. Right, so let's just show you how some of this stuff works. First off, let's first of all, let's hit the navigation button by there. Confirm. It is a touch screen, but you have got these big buttons here that override everything. Let's just pop the map on. Look at that. Really cool sort of navigation detailing on it. DAB stereo as well, as you'd expect on a car like this. We've also got the Bluetooth for your phone and for your media on here, so you can put your Bluetooth media on it as well. It's all really incredibly nice, isn't it? I did have my map on there as well. There it is, look at that. I love that. So you can have your navigation screen right in front of you on there. Now these dials are typical Porsche because the center one is the rev counter. That dominates things. Let's give it a rev. Very smooth 6-cylinder diesel noise. And then we've got a digital speedo at the bottom of that, and then our actual analog speedo slightly to the left. And as you can see, it's a slightly, Porsche always do this slightly unusual thing where it's a 25 mile an hour increments on the speedo, but that goes all the way up to 175, so you won't be going all the way up there in it. And then we've got our oil pressure, our oil temperature, and a sort of a large selector there in the middle for our gearbox. Now this is as you can see, when I put it into drive, it comes up with a 1 there. It is an 8-speed box, which obviously shifts automatically normally, but I can push the lever. If I push it across there, that puts it in manual mode. And to change manually, I can go up and down on the box here, or using these switches here. So up and down is as simple as that. I can just do it without taking my hands off the wheel. Very, very well thought out, this car is, and it has got very similar controls to well, I say to like a 911 with Tiptronic, essentially. So that's not a bad thing, is it? It's a bit of heritage of a car. Loads of switches up here. I'm trying to figure out what they all do. No, I think that's the blind, but it could be the actual roof itself. That's the blind. So I can put the blind across electrically. Let's not do that for a minute, though. The big one to the centre here, I think it does the actual roof panel. There it goes. Look at that. Just what I want in December. Wind in the hair motoring. Very good though. And we're sealed back in again. I love the panoramic roof in this particular car. I've got to be honest, I don't know how often I'd have it open when I was driving it, because it's also air conditioned anyway, isn't it? But it's just nice to throw the light into this car. And I've got more controls here. I have got adjustable suspension dampers, so you have got free settings for the suspension. Comfort, self-explanatory, isn't it? Normal or sport mode. Obviously in that one there, it firms everything up a little bit, but you've also got a sport mode for the engine and gearbox there as well, and that lowers the car down as well on its air suspension. It's just gone down now. So in that mode, we're sort of ready to rock, ready to race. What else have we got here to show you? So we have got height adjustment, which we've got by here, so we can raise the height up as well for kind of an off-roading stroke wading mode. Very handy with all the floods that we've had recently in Wales. And well, there's not much more to show you really. It's just got everything you could ever want in a car. Array of dials here, which I'm still getting used to myself. But what I do like is not everything's through this screen. I think if you buy the new one now, everything's got sort of shifted onto here, but I've actually got buttons to do my airflow and stuff like that, and I quite like having buttons because I don't have to look across every time I'm adjusting something. You can do it by feel. I love this interior colour. You will either love it or hate it, but I personally think it's really, really cool. I think it looks almost timeless inside here, because it hasn't aged at all. This car hasn't. It's hard to believe now that this is over 10 years old, but it is. It's done 116,000 miles, which isn't a lot for a Porsche, but it's looks in here brand new almost still. It really hasn't got any wear on it. And I guess that's the thing with these are a car that are built to last. They really are. They're fantastically well put together. Porsche just know what they're doing with their cars. Always have been the experts at sort of screwing together. I'll put my window down. I suffer with paranoia, you see, because of cars locking themselves sometimes. Look at those daytime running lights there. Oh, it is Christmas, by the way, if you're watching us and I've just put this up and it is Christmas time. Merry Christmas to you. Someone watching this next July now is probably quite confused by that tree initially. Yeah, I just love the look of this thing. Love everything about it. And I also, my sound quality is not great on here. I'm just recording this from a mobile phone, but it's very, very smooth, this car. It doesn't sound really typically diesel. When you're behind the wheel of it as well, it's got quite a nice sound to it, and just so much torque, waves and waves of torque on that 3 litre 245 horsepower turbo diesel. It really is all the car you would ever want. This is, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolutely flawless example of a Cayenne of this age. One owner from new, as I say, full service history. It's just coming up now, due its next service, so we're going to give it a service before it goes out. But someone's really, really loved this car. Absolute credit to the former keeper. If you're interested in it, it's going to be available for sale. What a Christmas present. Imagine having this under your Christmas tree. My number's 07932 873 646, so if you're interested in this car, give me a call. As I say, we do get this type of thing in every now and again, but it's very rare to find one of this age that's one owner from new. So I recommend getting in touch if you're looking for one. 07932 873 646 is the number, and of course happy to take part exchange, and we also arrange nationwide delivery, so give us a ring, we'll tell you a bit more about that. And of course, thanks for watching. I hope it's been of interest to you, and please, if you haven't done so already, follow us, give us a subscription, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications, and you can be kept abreast of what we've got coming in, and any other car buying advice we may give you along the way. We also have a few exciting features coming up. I've got a video ready to upload of my 2CV and how we're getting on with that, so that'll be coming very, very soon. But in the meantime, thanks for watching us today. Please comment below as well and let us know your own experiences of the Cayenne, both this and the first generation, or even the third generation. Let us know how you found ownership of the car, and we're always keen to hear from sort of previous owners and buyers. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day wherever you are, and we will see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.